Hey guys and girls, Mindset Arc podcast. Hello today and welcome. The concept of gamification theory came to mind to me again. This is going to be again a good episode. I can already hear it. So, what is it? Um, I wrote an article a couple of months ago, derived from a book of, I think it was from Atomic Habits. I actually didn't read it, I heard it from one of the friends. So, talking about 1% improvement every day. And just general gamification theory regarding self-improvement, when every action that you do gives you some experience that you can get into your character, meaning yourself. And if you're not aware, if you're not into video games and all that, it's basically there are points that you need to get to the next level, and with each level you need to get more and more of them, so you need to do the more harder and harder actions. Basically, that's the small concept about experience points in games. But basically it can be applied to life as well, just with a couple of caveats, because this is reality and you are the only character you will actually be in your life. And so what is about it, this concept? It's basically you gaining these experience points until you will gain enough of them to trigger some kind of either new skill that you will advance to the next level, like be it social or mental or whatever, physical. You can go to the gym and advance to the next level of weights, for example. So in any way. But also, I whatever. I'm gonna go. I cannot remember what I wanted to say, but whatever. We're gonna roll with that. So basically, these, as more advanced you become in these skills that you develop, the more obviously experience you need to get. So for example, if you are okay with going outside to the street and saying hello to everyone passing by, you will get okay with that eventually, even if for the first couple of tries it will be completely terrifying and completely overwhelm you. I cannot do that, like for the record. I just, and as an example, I did it in other things. For example, with eye contact, probably. Well, yeah, let's start with that. For me, eye contact was really hard to do at the start. I couldn't look people in the eyes, and now it is easy. And it still gives me some more confidence if I practice it. But until I will start doing some heavier tasks, I won't be advancing that far, because to get to the next level of being easily uh, able to start conversations with people, or to go to some meetup and whatever, like hi-fi everyone there, like it's completely different skills and completely different, we could say, level of skills. It's much more advanced. So to get to that level, I would need much more practice. But this is a concept from games that sometimes doing the smallest task possible becomes completely irrelevant over the time, because, for example, you need, at the start you need only 10 of these points, but over your advancing career you will need thousands of them, and doing 1,000 small actions seems kinda redundant if you can do something better. But at the same time, this is not a video game, if you noticed. So what is the difference? But this system works nevertheless. If you repeat something small, you will still get some experience. you will still be advanced a little bit more. That's what we talk about when we say bare minimum every day, because that keeps you advanced and it keeps you from stalling even. So that is another technique that we can talk about, that if you won't gain this experience for some time, you begin to retract your skills, you begin to degrade your skills in some way at least. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that while it gives you such a small amount of progress, it still gives you that progress. And remember, that progress stays with you for life. You will get to the next level of being able to talk with people, going on meetups or talking with girls on the street, or just with people while staying in a queue, or going out to some events by yourself. That is a skill that you can get to by some repetition, by facing your anxiety, by doing consistent actions, meaning going out and facing that thing. And over time you get that skill, and that skill stays with you for life. It can be a little bit rusty from time to time if you don't use it often, but it's much easier to return to what you had before than to build it anew. You will still retain some amount of your experience, some amount of skill, no matter how much time passes. And that is what we're aiming for here. If you think about some priority thing, for example, if in any situation, if for example you have the choice between going out and just making eye contact with people, or going out for an hour, for example, or going out and saying hello to one person, the second option may be fast, but it will probably give you more engagement and experience, like as it is with me, though it can vary. Let's say you're gonna go and like say hello to 10 people, or try to have some conversations. You will advance your skill better. But so in that comparison, probably the option that is harder is better. So yeah, obviously, you would say obviously. So it's not, this concept is not about specifically that, but imagine if you have the choice of going out and making eye contact with people, this bare minimum thing that will give you, for example, one experience point, and staying back in home and not doing anything because you think that is completely redundant and I won't learn anything from it because I'm on a better level now. I can go to meet up and talk to someone, so I don't need to go outside today and practice that. That may be valuable if you do really need relaxation period, but if it's just amount of preference, you're trying to find excuses because the effort seems to be much more than you actually will get. For example, if your goal to learn, I will create my example right from my life right now. My goal for now, my obsession right now, is to learn how to meet girls in a bars, clubs, nightlife basically. To meet girls there, have a conversation, and sleep with them. That is my goal. So anything less that don't give me that result, my mind considers completely irrelevant and not on the point. So for example, going to meetup like I want right now, and I will in like 10 minutes, seems like it's counterproductive. Because why? It's not what I actually want to learn right now. It's better to stay at home, and because today is not really the day to go to the bars. It's like midday and I tried, there's no people there. So it's better to stay at home and relax and read something and go into theory and all that. But there is also a possibility to go on a meetup and practice social skills. It doesn't seem like it gets me much of the experience of nightlife, of meeting people in nightlife. But at the same time, it gives me at least something, at least a little more practice of being social. And so if I think about it, if I went to bars, it would have been like, for example, 10, 15 experience points. If I stay at home, it's 0, obviously. And if I go to this meetup, it's like 1 or 2, just a little bit more. But at the same time, it is something, and it stays with me for all my life. It is the experience I get. And repeated over time, it builds consistency, and eventually, even these small amounts, small actions, will make you have some results as well. I won't talk about additional benefits of just you going out and doing some small action. This can include just keeping the momentum going and having easier time afterwards. I that one. I won't focus on them on details, but that one, momentum, and I cannot think properly. Whatever. Just showing up, for example, you still putting yourself out there, and you don't know what's gonna happen. You may meet people there that will help you on your journey. You can just practice being outside. Sometimes just staying inside for a couple of days will make you more depressed, and going outside and talking to people will help with that. So there is a lot of different concerns that just facing and going out and doing a bare minimum helps you with. But sometimes it just doesn't work. If I try to convince myself right now that, okay, to go to that meetup, no, yeah, there may be some of the possibilities. No, I don't believe that. Like, I know that logically there may be some girls that would be into me, and it will get into knowing each other and eventually hanging out and, I don't know, having sex and just continuing with some kind of a relationship. That can happen. Or I can meet some amazing group of friends, or like one dude that will be really into the same things I am, and we become wingmen of each other and help each other. That can happen. Logically, I know that, but my mind doesn't believe that anyway. My mind is focused on a different thing, and so here it's like it's such a small change that it's not considered even considering it. Not I cannot justify considering these type of explanations. But when I think about it as experience in these types of moments, when I would easier justify for myself just staying at home. I don't want to do anything. It's not worth it anyway. You know that phrase. So if I catch myself thinking in that way, then it is really useful technique that to remember that, okay, I'm going there just to get that 1 point of experience that will bring me a little bit closer, not significant, but a little bit closer towards what I want, towards improving my social skills, towards finding people, towards social freedom, towards more sex, towards happy life, ultimately. Of course, it's not noticeable. One day it's not noticeable. You do that for 100 of days, it becomes noticeable. You do that for a couple of years, not every day, but consistently. I'm not talking like going to the same meetup. I'm talking every day just thinking what you can do to get yourself that one experience point if you're choosing between not doing anything and doing that. do that for a year, for a couple of years. You will get so much progress, you cannot even believe that. It is really important with all of the other benefits, but even just if you have this experience of, for me, I know, for me, that one experience point, if I go to that meetup, includes practicing talking with people, first skill, practicing speaking English, which I'm doing here on camera, but I'm also, if I'm doing that with people, it improves also. Second skill. Third skill is I know almost for sure for now, because of my lack of social skills, I will feel really uncomfortable among all of these people. There is a low chance that there will be some amazing person that will click with and will talk and I won't feel bad about it. There may be even slighter chance that that would be a girl and I will be just really happy because honestly in this, because of my obsession is on girls, is on sex as right now, I like talking with girls much more than with guys. Even talking, because that gets me closer. I get this exchange of energy, I learn about them, I am more invested. So that could happen as well. But yeah, like that's not the skill that I'm aiming for, but just the what I was talking. Yeah, that I possibly will get hurt in some way, even if it's slightly, but couple of last meetups, it was really hard for me to notice what I couldn't do. And so after that, I had kind of a breakdowns for a couple of hours, and it's really hard to go to sleep, and I'm suffering and all that, which may be perceived as a negative. But when you frame it as you facing your fears, you're, no matter if it even hurts, you'll learn to overcome them. You'll learn to face them and not quit. So that is the third skill, perseverance. Perseverance and like this combination of that, stoicism, being more emotionally stable, practicing all of these techniques, basically mindset improvement in general. So that is main three skills. Probably there are some more. I don't want to get too much into details about it because it doesn't really matter. But you see, I'm not getting much experience from it, but I'm getting some experience in all of these fields. This one experience point, even if I need 10,000 of them, it's still really useful because that progress will stay with me for life. It's not going anywhere. I'm the only character I can play for all this life. And so any experience point matters. That's what is important here. So I'm gonna leave a link for that article that I wrote a couple of months ago that talks about the same concept in a kind of different words. I'm gonna leave it in the description and read it if you want, don't read it if you don't, doesn't matter, but try thinking about the next time when you will be choosing between, for example, just going out of the house. If you were sitting at home and you contemplating going out of the house for 5-10 minutes, I don't know what your goal are, even if it's just weight loss. Maybe it's being more happier and like less depressed. Maybe you're trying to overcome depression, though it probably can be harder tasks than to go out of the house. I understand that, but you get my point. Um, Even if it's, for example, talking to girls and dating and being more socially free. Going outside for 10 minutes puts you among people in some way. You're not in the confines of your home. You're there in the danger area, you know. And so that can be really helpful as well. Even if it doesn't give you anything noticeable that day or in a week or whatever, time period is, it's still that one experience point. Think about it that way. And sometimes it's really what is required to see onto that action a little from a little bit different way. And sometimes it's all that required for you to take that action and make it possible. And as I always say, and that's my mentors are always said, if you do the action consistently and won't quit, you will have success. And that is just inevitable. So make all of this happen. Good luck to you. Stay on your goals and see you next time.